This episode is brought to you by Freestyle Photographic Supply. In the heart of the Pacific Northwest, where the skies dance with the hues of lavender and gold, and the trees whisper ancient secrets to those who listen, there lies a place where time slows and reality melds with fantastical. A place where four souls embark on a journey that will forever alter the fabric of their existence. We are bound by an unbreakable bond, woven together by the threads of celluloid and whispering shutter slaps under the stars. As the sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky with a symphony of fiery hues, we embark on a pilgrimage into the heart of the wild, seeking not only adventure, but a communion with the very existence of nature herself, the Pacific Northwest. Our journey this time would start as others often do, with a dream and a hope, wrapped in celluloid. Jason and I have yearned for the Pacific Northwest for a while now, but this time we would not be taking this trip alone. Two more companions will be by our side. Our journey would see quite a number of twists and turns, roads and waters, motels, and haunted homes. That last one, not being an exaggeration. But before we'd be burning rubber on that open American road, we'd be stopping in downtown Portland, Oregon for a little fun in the summer sun with our significant others while we waited for our fourth amigo to join. Starting off this journey, I must set my photography landscape. The first thing I knew I needed to figure out was what film was I going to be bringing up to the north. Throughout the years, I've acquired a lot of expired film that I never quite knew what to do with. Some not enough for their own dedication, and others potentially too expired for their own good. I was taking a big leap of faith here. Well, except for a few oddball unexpired films, the rest would be all past their prime. I'd either be coming home with a pile of glorious bangers, or they would all be duds. Once those films were chosen, the cameras would follow suit. Only two cameras would be born to ride this American road: the Leica M6 and the Mamiya 7. Two of my tried and true slappers. I'd also be bringing along my pano kit for the Mamiya 7 for those inevitable horizons. First thing out of the gate on day one in Portland would inevitably be coffee. Never coffee. It's a clever name, and one of the biggest oxymorons I have ever uttered out of his lips. Their aesthetic is on point with all their colors and clean lines. Plus, you can't be mad at a good meat rug on the wall. For my first roll-up, I decided not to go for an expired film, but to put some Kentmere 400 into my camera, pushing that lovely black and white stock 2 stops. 1600 during the day might not be the best choice, but it's just what happened. I must say, this wasn't going to be the first time I would have some sort of selection paralysis in choosing my film stock to shoot. Because I brought so many different stocks on this trip, it was hard to figure out what stock at what time was the perfect choice. One of our first stops for the day would be Pro Photo Supply in the Portland area. Just because we came packed to the brim with film doesn't mean we didn't need it anymore. Now, I technically didn't bring the Konica recorder, but I did lend it to Lauren so she could shoot some film. I hadn't finished a roll on that from the beginning of the year, so I thought it would be good for her to just kill the rest of it on this extended weekend. Being that we've traveled with Jason and Monica before, I knew them quite well. And I've known Birgit for about 2 years now. But this walk was really nice because it gave us time to meet and get to know Dave, Birgit's partner.
That pow! That's a banger. Natural. Oh, he took it. He took it.
Oh, you actually took it.
Whoa, you took it.
I mean, he laughs at my jokes, so he could stay. Once we were done slurping down those baby-sized topos, we left downtown area to go to the mall. Nothing beats a trip to Portland quite like a visit to the mall. more specifically for a photo family session. Michael and his team make some of the best cheesy family portraits around. Honestly, it's a blast. So if you're in the area, you should check out their studio. You'll definitely want to get one of these photos taken to hang above your fake fireplace, or real fireplace. Who knows what kind of fireplace you have.
Independence Day.
That's a good one. That's like, oh.
2, 1.
Oh, okay, 2.
I have to admit something. These photos from my first roll are very slice of life. Photos remembering moments and not anything, I would say, too artistic. Damn, really want that buck. After heading back to the hotel and looking through all of my favorite photo books by Slim Aarons, we were all feeling quite tired, so we decided to get served by our future overlords. Now, if you know anything about me at all, it would be that I like coffee.
Coffee!
No, sorry. I love coffee. More than film photography? Now, I don't know. That's maybe a hard one to answer. But when I saw that a robot would be serving us, I was naturally curious and at the same time very skeptical. Needless to say, the robot was as slow as molasses. And the drinks were overall, well, very, very mid. So I guess trust me when I say that I think baristas have nothing to worry about. These photos of the two sitting here in this bar are quite nice. I love how perfectly they are framed by shadow around them. So far, my favorite photo of the trip, but to be fair, we just got served. We found our way to this bar known for their spooky themed drinks and even spookier bathrooms, Raven's Manor. This place was one of the coolest I've seen in some time. There were little pockets of frightening gems hidden all around. But I do wish they would clean up a little bit before people started to come in. I mean, there's cobwebs everywhere. Day dose in Portland. Had a lot of fun so far. Had some good coffee, had some good food, had some good drinks. I think I got some good shots so far. I've only really gone through one roll. Technically, I haven't finished the roll yet. So, slower pace than normal. But you know, it's cool. It's a nice relaxing start to a week of photos. Okay, coffee time.
Plus is 200. I'm going to shoot it at 125.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I decided to part my hair this way, or pose like this in general. At this point, I just can't undo it. Next, we would be putting our dancing shoes on for an outdoor concert and ice cream festival. The man from Portugal, known for still feeling it, would be providing a free music for all ice cream and beer lovers from around the area, bopping and grooving to their acoustic musical fusion. I have to say, I'm quite fond of this photo. The light was reflecting off the interior ceiling ever so nicely, and Color Plus was just murdering those greens. Like, murder in a good way, obviously. We don't like bad murder. Later that evening, once we were done getting back from 1986, we decided we needed a few happy hours in our life. So we crossed the street to this quaint little bar that we had all to ourselves. Some booths to celebrate our life's coming changes. This would be the last night of the couple's retreat before beginning our journey into the heart of the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, I think because the cocktails are 9.
The first order of business today would be picking up David from the airport. And of course it'd be early in the morning. So instead of sending a morning person, we sent Jason.
Road trip.
Our first stop of the day would be none other than Blue Moon Camera. If you haven't heard of Blue Moon and you're in the film community, you might be living under a large format camera. They carry all sorts of cameras and all sorts of camera accessories. And you know your boys and girls got a tour. While there, we saw everything from developing to printing to scanning to the back of the warehouse. They even had some super duper rare Leica cameras hidden under those beautiful ties. I have to say, snazzy dressing will get you somewhere. Unlike me and my constant wardrobe of a black on black on black on black and a cat shirt. It was definitely a treat to see behind the scenes of an institution like Blue Moon. Next up north, we would be on a little hike in the middle of nowhere. Now, I have to admit something. My brain was on my visual effects work since I was deep in post for a film. So I didn't know where we were going at any moment, which to be honest is a little hard. Not because I'm not a fly by the seat of your pants type of guy, but more so because I never quite knew what the right film stock to put in my camera was, since I didn't really know where we were going.
Okay, I have turquoise. I have NPZ 2003. How long ago was 2003? I'm in the presence of Birgit, so she should be very happy.
Oh, what are you loading?
Turquoise. Boom. Variable ISO. Gonna shoot this at 200. Ready to rock and roll.
So far during this hike, my turquoise shots are a bit one note. Sometimes I forget if you give one of these Lomachrome stocks too much of one color, it's a bit overwhelming. Now, along with the turquoise that I put in my Mamiya, I also have my Leica still chock full of Color Plus. Color Plus with those greens sparkles harder than Edward does in the Twilight films. I never knew the true power of Color Plus until this moment. Maybe I should get out of the desert and shoot a little bit more green.
They're in my shot.
Well, and that's when we lost Jason.
Ah, my hand.
Wow.
Made it out alive, thanks.
Look at you. Real. Do it, I dare you.
My favorite from this turquoise is this one of the small bridge, probably because it has a subject to it.
It sways. It's swaying a little bit.
What a treat to arrive to at the end of this path. A bridge leading our way to a waterfall. Such a pretty sight to see at the end of a 1.5 mile hike. Overall, my favorite stocks from this hike were in the little shaded area overlooking the waterfall. The lighting was so on point, such rich and vibrant colors.
How do you like that rocking and rolling?
After we saved the kingdom from the evil trolls, we left the woods and searched for sunset. Cannon Beach was our next planned stop, and we knew bangers would be on the horizon. But nothing would stop us from pulling over along the way if we needed to snap a few photos from time to time, or force Birgit to eat some junk food that she has never tried before.
Birgit's trying a Butterfinger.
That's different than I expected.
What did you, in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know, is there more in there?
No, but keep going.
Is it just that?
It's just that.
I'm not mad about it.
Okay, well you keep eating it, so that's a good thing, right?
After we arrived at Cannon Beach, I could feel the shift happening inside my belly. Was it the candy that I ate on the way here? Or was it the rumbling of the waves crashing against the setting sun? Whatever it was, I wanted to prepare for the awesome photos I'd be taking here at this beach. Putting in expired NPZ 800 was definitely a gamble. It has a 20-year past its prime expiration date, but it was a gamble that paid off.
Looks really, really good outside. Like, so beautiful. Of course, sunset at beaches in California or on the coast and the West Coast are always amazing, so can't go wrong with the West Coast sunset. Never. So pretty.
I keep coming back to this one image of this lamppost. You notice the lady doom scrolling on Instagram sitting in her red chair. Now, if that red chair was a different color, forget it. It would have just blended in. But red was the move. Then, once you see the red chair, you move directly to the red bucket at the entranceway of the beach. Damn, I just love this one so much. Top-notch work, if I do say so myself.
Dude.
We're in Astoria now,
Motel
6, and we're gonna go to bed
Yeah, I'm tired.
because we're tired. We had a good day so far. Good day one. Day uno. We're gonna kill it tomorrow, but we need to get some sleep to be able to kill it tomorrow. So that's what we're gonna do. That's about it for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sleep with your camera next to you. I always sleep with the camera next to me.
You promised me, Jason. You promised me. That next day, after being photo teased with the promise of an abandoned building that has since been wiped clean from the face of the Pacific Northwest, we made our way into this little town of Astoria for some coffee, breakfast, and a little jaunt around town. Keeping on track with this expired theme, I loaded my Mamiya with some old-ass Agfa color film. And unfortunately, these shots suffer from being 104 years old, just like our boy Edward. these first few shots definitely suffer from a lot of color shifts. But for some reason, once we make our way to these colorful buildings, it's not as noticeable. Then, as you'll see, it goes back to garbage real fast. Once we were done in that little town, it was time to do a little backtracking. I was promised some abandoned stuff today, and by gosh golly, Jacob, I'm gonna get it. But I have to say, the packaging for this AGFA film is pretty cool.
Today on our first tries, Sour Patch Kids.
Oh yeah.
As recommended by Caleb.
Yup.
Oh yeah, that's a good amount of sour.
Yep.
That's perfect. 8 out of 10.
Woo!
That's good. I like it better than the butt fingers.
Butt fingers.
Now, unfortunately, my abandoned quota for the day has not been filled, and there was no barbecue to make up for it. But there was the next best thing, beer. We didn't quite know it yet, but we'd be needing our energy for the inevitable late night housing shakeup.
Pano time, baby.
Arriving at our next location, I knew I wanted to shake things up a bit. I had been shooting nothing but medium format and regular 35 this entire trip so far. I needed to go wider, much wider.
Focus.
Yeah, you have a job.
You have a job to do right now.
You have a job that I'm not paying you for.
Boom. Now it's time for Pano Vision. The dead tail no tail.
Unfortunately, this roll had other plans. For some reason, these exposures are riddled with issues. Every shot after this first one has some sort of focus shift issue, always seeming to favor the left-hand side of the frame. I honestly have no clue what happened here. I know what I focused on for all these images, and I must say, none of them are correct. And even more perplexing is because later on in the trip, I used the panel back several times, and all those shots are fine. But I'm not gonna go that far forward yet.
So I guess it means he's free.
We're taking a day off.
We had a dilemma. We could keep going towards the lighthouse and shoot in near midday lighting, or we could grab a beer and chill for 2 hours in this new invention called air conditioning, which let me tell you what, it is really nice to have. So we decided to head into town and beer up for sunset. Plus, it gives us some more time to sit and talk about our emotions. A good cry is always nice. I'm not saying that I did cry, I'm just saying it's nice.
That guy over there, he thinks he's funny.
Somehow, even though the shot has a focus shift, it actually kind of does work. I'm not sure why, but I'll take it.
Jason in quiet
It
contemplation.
would be so easy to climb. Come on. No one here, Birgit.
No, I know. We can do it.
Okay, for sunset, I really wanted to go Pano, but it's not the right move for Pano. It's just not. Oh, actually, you're the person I want to see. I'm gonna steal this back. Thank you. Okay, so time to put medium format back in so that I have a better framing, because Pano is just not the framing. It's just not. It's not for this place. It's vertical, but it's so beautiful. Oh my God. Look at that lighthouse behind me. Look at that. Look at that thing.
If you hate slide, think again. Switching to medium format was the move. Provia just slaps so hard, those colors just pop off the screen. So these lighthouse shots are top notch. But I think the shot of David against the sunset is my favorite photo by far here at this location. He looks just so angelic.
Someone apparently hates sunsets.
What do you got the shot? Baby. And plus, AI can generate anything nowadays.
I'd say waiting was a good call. Sunset was spectacular. Once the sun went down, we needed a GTFO out of these woods. There was no way we wanted to be stuck on this trail in the dark. For one, we could have broken our ankle. For two, bobcats exist. And for three, there have been whispers of vampires in these woods. And I don't want to take those chances.
Guys, where's Birgit? She was just right up there.
I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
Oh my
Just
god.
went a different way. Don't worry about it.
Plus, we still had an hour's drive towards our Airbnb, getting us in around 12 p.m. But that's not where the night ends. And it starts with a lady screaming into the night. There was a lady on the side of the road that was screaming at 12 p.m. at night. It was weird.
Take this. Oh my lord. Wow.
I love that one.
Okay. And?
It's a little creepy, but all the lights are on.
So.
There's so many doors where there's so many doors.
I know, I don't like the doors.
I think-
wanna die. Just kidding. It's not haunted, it's just an old house.
Yeah, I actually don't think this is the best one because it has extra doors.
Dude, there's a door in the closet.
Me.
There's a door. There's a small door in the closet. That thing right there. Look at that thing. That doors and the goblins come through that. I'm just kidding. Bullshit is weird.
Once we did our initial sweep of the entire house and opened all the closet doors to make sure no one and nothing was hiding, we sat down for a little family chat over our dinner, one by one heating up our grocery store food. Over the course of the next 20 minutes, we all decided that this place was not worth dying in. Even if we could relax enough to lay our heads down, the creaks and cracks and noises would keep us up all night. Not to mention that the lights were flickering and there was a blood-stained fingerprint on the ceiling. And I don't play those games.
Getting out of here.
Yeah, this has some vibes for sure.
Staying here.
That is definitely an abandoned house, for sure.
Yeah, like the front door open.
Oh.
Yeah, and that abandoned house next door doesn't help either. Usually I'm so down for things like that, but when you're staying in a house next to an abandoned house, I don't think so.
Okay, well, welcome to the new stay for the night.
This is better. Our new home.
You can come in if you want.
Well, we didn't get murdered last night, which is a good thing.
Maybe you didn't.
Well,
I did.
Elvis is dead. Sinatra is dead. And me, I'm not feeling dead. Still funny this morning. I wasn't just delirious.
No, not delirious. It's still funny.
After After a little bit of terrible coffee and celebrating Christmas in July, we needed to cure last night's fear with some more film photography. So we hit the road towards some nuclear reactors. Don't worry, they weren't active, that we know of.
I'm gonna go with red scale. I think that'd be good.
My thought process of choosing red scale film here at these nuclear silos was to play into that theme of a nuclear wasteland. And I have to say that the red scale was the right choice. One thing that we started to notice when we stepped foot into the Cullens' home turf was that the weather was moodier than Jacob when he found out that Bella liked Edward. One minute it was hot and burning our sparkling skin, and the next, we popped on our jackets to protect us from the nice windy breeze. Our next spot was no exception, the Tree of Life on the Washington coast. So I leaned into that fog town vibe and killed the rest of my red scale shots. And I love these. They have this eerie feeling to them, like any moment Bree, Riley, or Victoria would just jump out of the trees, eating all the humans on the beach alive. And to follow that Moodtown vibe, the next roll would be black and white. This photo here on the beach is quite nice, and that family on the left really helps balance out the shot quite nicely. And this dude's butt.
Quick! Oh, Jesus, why is he winding that shit now in the middle? Jesus.
Yeah, that's the wrong time to wind! Once we made sure David survived the middle of the street, we headed to another beach. At this point, our trip should just be called Beach Please. Next up in my wacky world of other films, I decided to visit the other spectrum of the unknown, infrared. I've had this role for quite some time now, but never quite knew what to do with it. So when I decided to visit Expired Town for this trip, I figured that, what the heck, let's party in the unknown. The trouble with Rolly infrared is that the R72 filter used to get those infrared tones cuts around 4 to 6 stops of light. That's a lot of light to lose. Vamps, they love it, but this guy, not so much. So even though it was a 400 speed film, I had to rate it at an effective ISO of 13, and my Mamiya doesn't even get down to 13. So I set my camera to ISO 25 and then changed my exposure compensation to read +1. But wow, was infrared so worth it? These first few images were definitely showing promise.
Oh, what is Birgit doing in there? Hi, what are you doing in there? Wonder if she's taking a photo. being very weird.
Now welcome to Forks, Washington, where we would call it home for a night. After last night's midnight fiasco, we decided to get to our Airbnb while the light was still in the sky. And once we arrived, you bet the first thing we did was make sure there wouldn't be anything watching us while we slept. This place was actually quite nice overall, way better than the photos, which honestly never happens. Most of the time they're dungeons or haunted or gnome homes.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Ooh. Who thinks Robert Pattinson is hot? Comment and like, subscribe down below.
We all had a date that evening with the TV. We'd be watching that ever so eternal classic Twilight, the motion picture, accompanied by a drinking game that would have us chugging all night long. And a bonus treat, Birgit would be painting our nails the official color of our trip, Pacific Northwest Winter's Baby Blue.
Don't go out.
After writing a sentimental letter to the owners thanking them for not killing us and draining our blood for sacrifice to the Volturi, we hit the road. We'd be spending the next 2 days on Vancouver Island, more specifically the town of Victoria, so we needed to make our way to the ferry at Port Angeles. On our way to the port, we actually ended up stopping by this abandoned restaurant. They basically had no choice. I kept yelling the words abandoned, and they finally had enough. Here, with all this greenery, would be a great place to snap some IR shots. And now I'm hooked on phonics with infrared.
You do need to film me when I eat this.
Yeah, you're 100%.
Like I said earlier in this video, arrow color ain't my thing. But these shots here aren't too bad. I have to say, it took a lot of color correction to get me to like them.
You jealous?
Now, one thing we didn't plan for while planning this trip during the summer was that other people would also want to vacation, leaving the Airbnb and hotel market very slim. So we decided to book a 4-person room at a hostel, which, you can believe it or not, was actually the first time I've ever been to a hostel. I don't mind being in a bunk bed with people I know. It's just the people I actually wouldn't know. That's where I crossed the line with the bunk beds. It was a good thing that this place would only be the 4 of us in that one room. At least there wouldn't be any vampires.
I'm packed in, I'm holding.
She's smiling, she's golden. She lives for me.
She lives for me.
Innovation.
That night, to get free from the cell block, we would be hitting the town to see some beautiful free healthcare streets.
This footage is fucking Gorge Town.
Georgetown University. I hate it so much.
Why do you hate it?
So stupid.
I'm giving you the short eyes.
You're not. Ooh.
Hey, Birgit, are you okay? Birgit?
You're key rich.
First order of business, coffee. I knew there had to be some good stuff here, and I was right. My sister told me about this place she had been to called Hey Happy. And oh, hot sauce in my eye, the best coffee I've had so far on this trip, and on so many others. Honestly, every sip I took, I really couldn't stop moaning. The pour over here was delectable. I love ortho, but I had no clue that we were about to step foot into a colorful Chinatown, and more specifically, dim alleyways. Not the move. The alleyway was cool though. So far this day, I really wasn't feeling in the photo groove. I'm not sure what crawled inside my brain to stop me from getting into that photo mode, but I just wasn't flowing. Unfortunately, I do find that happening from time to time. Once I was done with ortho and my pano adapter, I decided to go back to good old medium format. Maybe that would help Bella get his groove back.
Purple.
Momo Purple was the right call. I really like the colors that I got from this stock. It was great because the dock was so colorful and it was fun to see what the purple does to those colors in its surrounding. After spending some time walking around Victoria, we all hopped into the water taxi and headed back to our hostel. We'd actually be leaving Victoria this evening on an ever so short 3-hour ferry ride to Seattle, where we would live out the rest of our Pacific Northwest tour. However, there were just two small snacks. The ever so popular vampiric pastime, baseball, had made its way to Seattle, and this little performer called Tay-Tay would be descending into the Seattle area. The entirety of Seattle's hotels, motels, Airbnbs, and underpasses were fully booked up, or costing nearly $500 a night. That's not the best for a photographer's pocketbook. However, there was a glimmer of hope. Ben from the channel In an Instant would be in town staying with our gracious host, Abel, who we were about to meet for the very first time sleeping in his living room. So our little group of 4 would expand to 2 more. On this boat, heading towards sunset, I knew there was only one choice to load in my Mamiya 7, the Cinestill 800T. I didn't make too many pictures on this ride, but out of the few I did take, there were some gems. This one of the girls staring off into the sunset while listening to death metal puts me at ease.
Take that, and now you're gonna do a dirty peel, yeah.
And then like that?
Yep. Oh!
Phenomenal. This is the new Tinder
It's
profile.
so clear. Oh my god.
That evening, once arriving at a Bell's, we all just hung out, taking photos and eating pizza before finally blowing up our beds and singing each other lullabies to drift away to sleep.
Damn, son. You know that's right.
Oh, baby. Nice. Wow, looks really
Hanging out with my friends.
Today would be our chill day, not a non-stop go-go-go type of day. A photography spa day, if you will. I mean, kinda. We'd still be doing a lot of walking.
What? No, that's you. That's you.
You're my real friend.
Yeah, no, I take a kiss any day.
Most of the day, we'd be waiting around in parks and bars in preparation for tonight's event's Fairies on Film, hosted by Anna Starr. Us 4 non-natives to the area thought it would be the perfect opportunity to meet and see other film photographers in the Seattle area. So after a few pints of brews and snacks, we called up our good old pal Uber to get us to the ferry across town.
hidden, dude.
What's hidden?
You're gonna get it. The space noodle.
No.
The noodle.
The noodle?
The noodle.
Shop it in there, please.
The space noodle.
Once we turned around, it was much harder to snap some photos due to the limited light. I did happen to get this one photo by leaning against a pole, shooting 1/15. I really like the desolation in the photo and this man walking in the distance all in motion blur. Overall, I have to say it was super fun taking photos with those people on the boat and engaging with the Seattle film community. Everyone was super duper nice.
Boom.
Boom.
The rest of that night went fast. We were getting hungry, and for some reason, the only place to get food around town was the good old trusty Citizen M. It's almost like a second home to us now. So we just sat around and just chatted. We were all kind of getting exhausted, and that next day would be our last, so we needed to make it count.
Hey Birgit, we're actually leaving. Yikes. Well, last day in Seattle.
So you can't go to Seattle without visiting Public Market. I mean, it's the birthplace of Starbucks, which I don't really condone, but it is pretty impressive nonetheless. Plus, we hadn't had chaotic street energy this entire trip, so we'd be digging it. I have to say that I had a good feeling about this day. Two shots off the bat, I'm back, baby. Lomo 800 time. And before we continue today's epic storytelling of the Twilight series, I wanted to tell you about today's sponsor, Freestyle Photographic Supply. Freestyle is one of the largest analog photo distributors in the US, helping to supply schools, photo labs, and camera shops as big as B&H and Anorama, along with all the mom and pop shops too. All the Super 8 footage from this trip so far is from Freestyle, so you know they have the good stuff on hand. They've been serving the photo community for 76 years now, which is an impressive feat. And if you're looking for any weird specific films, I bet your bottom dollar they will have that stock. I'm positive they will have what you're looking for and more. And if you're looking to take the next step in your personal film journey, their staff is always around to help. Say you want to start developing or even darkroom printing. They have all the tools at their disposal and will help you choose what is right for you going forward. And they even have their own line of Holga cameras in case you want to get into some funky flashes. Freestyle is striving to get film into the hands of those who love the medium and want to keep exploring that love for all things film. So if you're new to film or you've been shooting for a little bit, Freestyle is the place for you to go for all your photo and film needs. Just check out my link in the description box below to find what strikes your fancy so you can get shooting. Okay, let's get back to the Pacific Northwest. At this point, we kind of all lost each other and went our separate ways shooting film. I'm not sure about the others, but this market energy was getting me excited. And these two shots right here of this produce lady, hands down, some of my favorites from this trip. The lighting, the color, the energy, it's all just slapping, baby. Honestly, why do I even pretend to shoot any other film stocks when Lomo 800 is everything I need and want in life? Birgit, bring out Lomo 800 in 4x5 and that tattoo is happening. After hanging around Pike's Place, we decided to sit down with some other photographers for a nice yummy brew to get out of the Seattle heat.
Okay, Jason, dare him to do it.
Dip it in there unless you're a coward, Ben.
I'm not a coward.
Think about Robert
Pattinson or...
Think about vengeance.
Vengeance. There we go. Is it thing with your fingers
Welcome to Seattle. My name is Benny Baggs. I'm here with C Baby and Jay Stone. And we're shooting film. You know how we do it. Roll that intro.
David is doing very well in Seattle.
That night, we just wanted to chill. It would be our last night on the trip, so we decided to hang at Abel's house with some beers and old-ass Polaroid chemistry.
The mattress one, and you hold me. Put this in here like that.
It's easier to load than regular film.
It's much easier to load.
Vengeance from you right now. We need vengeance.
Vengeance, like,
we need vengeance.
how do I
Okay?
do that?
You know. You know.
Yep.
Boom. Ready? And give me 3 seconds. Okay. 1, 2, and party on.
You're cold, like
Take the
ice.
right side out? Yeah, it's out.
Say it.
Yeah, he brought the party! Woo! And just as the night was starting to wind down, our new buddy Salvador brought in Four Locos to wind it back up. Ever since our initial Mamiya Amigos podcast with Birgit, we've been trying to locate and find some Four Locos for us all to drink together.
Let me re-blue myself.
Blue. Blue's the worst.
More gyration. You have a gyration. It's kind of dim outside. This is really crazy. It should be.
Overall, this was one sparkling trip that I'll never forget. One massive thanks to Abel and his hospitality. Being able to hang with the Seattle film community was a nice little nightcap to the end of our road trip. Looking back at this week holds fond memories of the four of us. We all became much closer friends out there in the wilderness. At the end of the day, not every shot was a total banger, but they represent something more. They hold the memories of our Pacific Northwest Winners gang, and what more can I really ask for? In the heart of the Pacific Northwest, where the boundaries between reality and enchantment blur, we discover that the true magic lies not in the place that we visit, but in the company we keep and the stories we create. And as night deepens and the forest sings its lullaby, we knew that this journey was not the end, but the beginning of a chapter of our lives, written in the ink of friendship and illuminated by the light of the stars. Now, all I have left to say is, when's Alaska?